Yay, I'm somebody's motivation. Hello, hello, my crafty creatures. I return. At least for this week-ish. My life, amazingly enough, is, while it's really, really tame, in the same breath of air, it is wild and crazy. And those of you who know, you know. Like, I love hopping on here. I love being a, 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 a voice to, like, make you laugh. I don't want to make you cry, but if I make you think, it brings me, bringing light and joy to the day really helps me get through mine. So here I am. I'm continuing my epic journey on Captain Penis. We are working on grapes. Not those kind of grapes, but we were working on some purple grapes. We got done 890 last time we were here. And I'm working on 550 right now because it's a good connecting color. It will help me access all kinds of other little colors. I'm going to be here till 11:30, 12. I know I don't do the longest streams, but I have a staff meeting today and I have other stuff I gotta do. So I will be here for my long stream on Thursday and Friday. Those are the plans. Those are the plans. I'm trying to avoid 939 on this one, but unfortunately it's inevitable. Because 939 is a big color on both the projects that I'm working on. I am gearing up. So, happy Pride Month. It is day 2 of Pride Month. I haven't turned on presents. I meant to, and I totally forgot. But I will be offering 3 prizes this month. I'll be offering a rainbow version of the Chanel rose that I do. It'll be white petals with a rainbow working its way out, so it'll be red on the outside, and all the other colors will work their way in. I'll be offering up one of my cross-stitch helixes, all done, or in a kit. If you want to learn how to cross-stitch, I'll kit one up and send it down to you. And I don't know, the big grand prize, those are 2 little prizes, but the big grand prize will be both of those. And yeah, I think that'll work. But all June, I think I'm gonna put some little bugs in ears of in some of my streaming friends like Squirrel Dad, so he can have entries or whatnot. And I'll collaborate with a couple of other streamers so they can put in entries too. This day and age, you gotta collab. I think Squirrel Dad and Dast will be game. So I started out doing like and 550 is a very dark purple, so it kind of looks black. So that's the color that we're working on. But I started out just doing all the way across, but now it spans across like a whole area, and I'm just doing little blocks right now. Oh, I wish it were bedtime, but I mean, I still have a staff meeting and I have a shift to cover. Not to cover. I was scheduled. Yesterday was my day off because I did my weekend overnights. So, oh my goodness, so fun and adventures. I have been trying to untoxify my work environment for now. It's a monstrosity of a project, and I know I'm never going to make it I'm not going to make it where I want it to be, but I am trying to shift the mood and try to encourage teamwork and like, but not make it toxic positivity, because I'm friends, family, countrymen. My mother did not raise a quitter, but she certainly did raise a complainer. I complain about things while I'm doing them. That does not mean that I am upset that I am doing them. I complain about things I like to do. So I'm trying to encourage people to bring a smile, bring some light. It's okay to complain. The notion that you're not to complain about anything is just no. It's okay to complain. Just make sure you're trying to do something about what you're complaining about. And I was telling some of my coworkers about this. It's like, no, I love to complain. One of my favorite things to do. But I try very hard. If I'm complaining too much and bringing down the mood, I try to look at myself and go, what am I doing to make this less of a problem? And then I try to take steps to do said thing. Am I always perfect? Absolutely not. Nah, bruh. Nah. But I try real hard. Exactly. And that's how it is with me. I was not allowed to. Allowed is such a free word. I did it, but there were consequences. And I am working on not having an immediate reaction to people complaining about stuff, because I do it, so I need to have the grace and the balance to be able to hear it from others. Now, I gotta say, I am working with this very lovely young lady who I'm still really confused why they gave me such a pure, innocent soul to train, because she is just amazing, and I've been training her, and her and I have had like Sunday night, I think it was Sunday into Monday, we were all having like this very deep conversation. One of my coworkers goes, "This is a deep conversation. Like, I can't believe we're having this conversation and no one's getting angry." I'm like, that's because we're recognizing that it's a deep conversation, and that there's nuances, and that there are it's so much bigger than the trigger issue, that there's finer details that people don't talk about that we're talking about. And she stops and she goes, "Yeah, and I kind of like that." And that's what I've come to want to encourage is, oh, ad break time. I don't know what's going on with subs and whatnot, so I'll pause during the ad break. I don't know when the ads are over, but we'll figure it out. I'm just kind of enjoying the music that's on in the background. Um, but I I like it. It's kind of those things like I like having like small talk. And again, there were signs. There were so many signs that I had been graced with the with the tism. Um, but I play devil's advocate a lot, and that is why I am quiet a lot. Is I am watching, I am learning, I am balancing. It's a constant thing for me, so that I want people to know that when I do speak up and I say things, it is either a very strong opinion that I have, and I have the grace to know that it's an opinion. If I start stating facts, know that I have done some research. I have at least 3 sources, and I'm not blowing it out of my ass. But if I state an opinion, I recognize that I'm stating an opinion. Ugh. But I'm trying to do that at work. I'm trying to bring the grace and the balance, because the world is so polarized. And I was actually watching The Daily Show, one of the behind the scenes cuts that they put out on YouTube. And it was Ronnie Chang, and he was being asked by an audience member, how do you control your rage? And his answer is, I'm a stand-up comedian. I just channel my rage into different forms. It's not that I don't get mad about things, he says, but I'm able to focus it into humor. And he's like, I'm very blessed to be able to travel the country and meet people. And he goes on to talk about how talking to people individually, everybody wants to work together, but unfortunately the internet is a sanctuary and a cesspool to provoke hate and non-contextual opinions. So that he goes on to go, I think more people need to get off the internet and interact face to face to work things out. And I agree with that. Like, text doesn't carry tone. I have to remind myself that very frequently when dealing with a lot of coworkers, like Sanctuary, the Sanctuary server, like, I know most of the voices that live rent free in that server. So I don't get upset. And if I do, I ask for context. And that's something that I have to work on more, because a lot of people put tone where it doesn't belong. And that is a very hard process to work on, by the way, folks. So don't think that there's just, oh hey. But why didn't I put that square? I totally okay. Okay. I got lost. Okay. Two over, and then feels really weird. Okay, it is skipped. Yes, 3 articles and an ADHD. Hello, well, I mean, you're always summoned. Like, I always have like open summoning circles for all of my peeps. Yeah. Yeah. It's been a while. I've been streaming for quite a while, and I appreciate every moment that people come and spend time with me. Like, I can't, and I think this is my anniversary month, and I can't express like how awesome it is that I have, and it's a tiny place, but it's a safe place. I want quality over quantity. And that's always how I've been. And that's part of the reason why I know I will never be a multi-billionaire. Because I want quality. I don't need a lot. I just want it to be good. And then jump 3, 1, 2, 3. And yes, I sit like that. That's my ADHD autism bad trait. Is I am present. I am. I had to take a couple days. Like last week, I kind of flaked. I wasn't on the internet a whole lot. I just kind of rested last week because I needed it. Um, but I am that friend that people feel bad about. The only time they talk to me is when they need something. But I truly enjoy that role. Like I'm not bothered by it. I like being around to help. Like I don't see it as being used. And if I ever get to that point where I feel that I am being used, then I will address it. But I like being able to help. I like being, and it, I enjoy that role in my life. So I am present, but I'm not, I'm not a look at me kind of present. I am very much the person that you know that you can come to for things, and I have the things that you need, and I don't make a big deal out of it. I guess is the best way to describe my presence. Oh, that's fine. And that's the kind, like, I don't I can't fathom sitting and writing down everything that I have to do because I might get scared away. But I mean, let's see. Yesterday I finally got around to clipping down, like in the spring. I trim all of the branches that are not showing growth on my big my hedges and whatnot because I hate walking by hedges and seeing dead branches. And I got one hedge all cleaned up, and it's growing. Don't get me wrong; it kind of looked dead, and I was worried, but it is growing. So I got that, but I still have a whole nother hedge that I need to get my garden wagon out, and I need to clip that because it needs it. Um, but like I just kind of keep trudging along, and sometimes there are people involved, sometimes there's no one involved, and that's okay either way. I like communicating with people, and I like hanging out with people, but sometimes I just eh. Geez, that's frustrating. Like I'm a planner. I definitely need, if you want to spend time with me, we need to plan it out. I'm not a spontaneous, oh, hey, I'm going to be here. That's kind of like why I enjoy having the stream is I know that from this time to this time I will be doing this, I'll be socializing, I'll be cross stitching, I'll be having Because honestly, if I'm not scheduled, I'm probably sleeping. But if I'm scheduled and it's on a regular basis, it becomes a habit. So, like work. Work is when I do a whole bunch of my socializing because it's scheduled. I know from 3 to 11, 5 days a week, and every other week, 7 to 7, I will be someplace. If you want to socialize with me, if you want to interact with me, here I am. Ta-da! If not, yeah. And I know it's an incredibly one-way thing. I know that. If I want connection, I absolutely do reach out to people and that kind of thing. But I always feel like such a burden that I just kind of plop myself in a public space and go, here I am. Yep. But I also, in the same breath of air, I do not mind. I do not mind if I'm just kind of here existing. I know people are busy and it's not about me. I enjoy sitting here cross stitching. I enjoy just kind of existing. And I'm on a platform that if you need me, here I am. If you don't, that's fine too. It's all good. I got I got 4 little butterflies done. I am kind I need to be prepping for my market on the 20th because I know it will get here faster than I'm prepared for. And it's kind of like, oops, oh well. Um, like even like, I'm not great with unplanned things. I am probably like I will try my best to be somewhere if it's unplanned, but I'm not the best with it. I am not spontaneous. Um, I'm not spontaneous with anything, and that is probably like one of my biggest downfalls. But I've also learned that when I try to be spontaneous, it falls flat on its face, and then I feel bad. Mostly because, like, for example, I am sitting here and my sugar's going, do I want to crash? No, because it's not a true crash. I've been trying to get things back under control, so it's not a true sugar crash yet. It's just my sugar coming down from the stratosphere. Working on some grapes. But yeah, yesterday I clipped back probably the the largest portion of dead hedge. I do have a hydrangea bush I need to investigate whether it's gone or I just need to trim back the last year's last year's branches. And my barberry. I like thorny hedges. I like hedges that express fuck off. So I have to pick my days. Because if I pick the wrong day, I get to wear like massive sweatshirts or I get caught in thorns and my skin just looks like something terrorized me. but I charged almost all of my cameras. I'm charging the last one today. And I learned that one of my wires is bad, so I get to fight with that, which is always fun. Oh no, I don't get to fight with it. I'm going to just purchase another charging cable. Honestly, maybe two, because I'm really tired of, like, I have 3 cameras that are hit and miss on the solar power. I have one that's completely not solar powered at all. That's fine. I need to work on that. But I have 2 others that's just hit and miss. Like, sometimes the solar power will work, sometimes it won't. No, most, I honestly, the glucometers are an old enough technology that get the cheapest one. They'll, as long as you keep it calibrated, like even if it's just a week, as long as there's a battery in it, keep it calibrated. If you're not going to use it for a span of time, pull the batteries, and then when you plan on using it, just make sure you calibrate it and make sure your calibration liquid is in date. Because that's the biggest thing that I run into is people use an old machine and it won't be calibrated. So it gives you false numbers and then the whole landslide from that. But the technology is old enough that as long as it's calibrated, there's no favorite that I have. And people be like, oh, you gotta use this one. No. That technology is old enough that as long as it's calibrated, any meter is fine. And to calibrate it, you simply use the fluid. If it comes out that it's not calibrated, then that's when you need to get another one. But I mean, you can get them for free, by just coupons or whatnot. So yeah. Whoops. So when so type 1 for me snuck up on everybody. The biggest thing I think you need to look out for if you don't know and if you're not familiar with it is the drinking a lot and peeing a lot. That was the biggest one for me. I could easily down, and it's not even, I'm not even joking. I, just before I was diagnosed, was drinking really close to 60 ounces of water in just one go. Like, fill up a 20 ounce, chug it down, fill up a 20 ounce, chug it down, but I was 14, so scale it to size. And then I was peeing a lot. I was exhausted. And so those are the things that I encourage people to keep an eye out for. I don't think did I put that on the right spot? Nope. I'm kind of lost. Um, he's King Charles now. Just remember, King Charles. He was coronated. Crown? I don't know. The three big things for me were the lethargy, because I always had a healthy appetite. Friends, folks, countrymen, I like to eat. So the eating a lot because my body is trying to get sugar so it can process. That wasn't really one that was. I'm trying to thread the needle behind so I can at least get it. Okay, so where are we going here? Oh, my hip. Oh, my hip. Okay. That's where I am. Okay. There we go. And I still only got one piece. There we go. So every once in a while, that's not a thing. For me, it was every single day. Every single day. It does not, the thirst did not stop. Like, we're talking, I went, now, knowing what I know now, I was diagnosed in August of 1997, August 23rd, 1997. I noticed things starting in February of 1997. Looking back at like the symptoms and stuff like that. I started off at 130 something pounds. I noticed from February to June, I went from 137 to 115. And then from June to August, I went from 115 to 90. When I was admitted into the hospital, I was 92 pounds. And most girls are already at their adult size in 8th grade. And that I haven't had any growth spurts. I had already started puberty and whatnot, and I had to go through it again, which sucks. Do not recommend. No. Oh. On my behalf, get angry with people when they say, oh, she's eating all kinds of sugar. No. Makes me so angry, because that's part of the reason I have so many issues with food. Is so many people, after I was diagnosed, was like, should you really be eating? I will eat your soul. I will eat your motherfucking soul. Do not walk up to me and go, should you really be eating that? That is like the trigger phrase. Like, and I try really hard to control it, and I fail a good portion of the time. I apparently missed. I missed some stitches. Okay. Because I try to educate, and so many people get upset when I am like, please do not say, I can't eat that, it will give me diabetes, because it won't. That is how so many diabetics get ass fucked. Is, oh, well, you ate too much sugar as a kid. No, that's not how this works. I feel like that lady in the commercial. That's not how any of this works. Type 1 is an autoimmune disorder where your endocrine system goes, fuck you! Fuck off and die! Actually, before the invention of insulin, that's kind of what happened. Type 2, they are completely different diseases. Type 2 is insulin resistance. And unfortunately, we are learning that type 1 can appear at any age. It used to be just mostly as kids. But it has been showing up in adults. Yes. Yes. Everything can be done in moderation. With type 2 diabetes, and I'm still learning about type 2 diabetes. I am no expert about type 2. I can tell you about type 1. I can tell you all the sucky things about type 1. But with type 2, I am still learning its causes and its existence. A lot of it is simply insulin resistance because of fat. And the insulin resistance is natural. Like, I inject my insulin into a fat source because it slows down its speed of going, because I don't have a pancreas to moderate how much and where things get how they get done. So I have to inject subcutaneously into a fat source so that it slows, because if I inject it in the muscle, that is a good way to hardline a crash. Actually, if your sugar's super high, that's what we do, is we inject our fast acting in the muscle, and then we move the muscle to make the insulin work faster. Moderation is key. Moderation is the key to any sort of diet, any sort of nutritional advice. It is not a paleo diet. Yes, diets have their uses. Moderation is the key to everything. And I've decided that I actually do have a real low coming on, and that's why I have patriotic Swedish fish. I just saw them and I went, oh, I want to try that, so I bought them. They have different flavors, though I am coming to realize that I like the blue raspberry and the red ones, but the yellow white Swedish fish are lemon, and I'm not a huge fan. I absolutely agree to the medical trauma being a minimum too. Yes, with my motherfucking grown-up money, I bought the Swedish fish that I wanted to buy. And I think with anything like that I talk about and like I try to encourage moderation, because there are so many people in this world trying to, oh, well, you can do this with weight loss, you can do that. Oh, yeah, you can get it over. No, nothing that is permanent happens instantly. Because, well, yes, there are absolutely medications that will help you drop weight, and do this, that, or the other thing. Absolutely. I can't deny that. But those solutions are also permanent. Like with Ozempic and stuff like that, if you're using it for weight loss, it's permanent. Like, you have to keep using it in order for its effects to keep going. And then what people don't tell you, like with gastric bypass, with sleeve surgery, with any sort of weight loss surgery or medication you're using for weight loss, people don't talk about the psychological effects that, because I mean, they don't talk about the body dysmorphia that comes along with all of a sudden all of that. And that's why a lot of like the sleeve surgery or the gastric bypass ultimately doesn't work, is because people don't see themselves as skinny. They don't see the effects. It happens so quickly that that their brain doesn't process it properly. Like, I know I have body dysmorphia. I know you guys see me differently than I see me. So I try to moderate myself. Which is sometimes really, really rough. Doobie-doo. I don't believe that just because someone is skinny that they are healthy. I honestly, we're not, like, not everybody's supposed to be 120 pounds. I am a very strong, I am a very powerful individual. I'm not 120 pounds. Perfect People Science says I should be 150. That's not happening either. Because of the meds that I'm on. So I try very hard to encourage people to be healthy. Whatever healthy is for them. And with migraines, I'm kind of amused that Botox. I have a resident that does Botox for migraines, and she swears by it. And I guess Botox is an old enough that most insurance cover. But it also, like, I also have been paying attention to, like, the and I hate to be a Debbie Downer in this situation. The inslet the inslet cell transplants. It's not actually trying to cure type 1 diabetes, folks. It's not. It's testing anti-immune, anti-rejection drugs is what they're doing, and inslet cells is probably the safest transplant that someone can do, and it has the fastest turnaround because it is a very low grade transplant. It's not a kidney transplant, it's not a heart transplant. It is a very low grade transplant, and the effects are shown and seen very quickly. It is not a type 1 cure. That type 1 still has to take drugs. It is not a cure. It is a deference. And I support different things, their side effects or their off. It's known as off-label usage. Um, I support studies in those off-label usages because we're taking fucking drugs for everything these days. How about we see what else they can be used for? If it's gonna work, I support it. I just don't want people taking things willy-nilly or pumping them up because again, it gives false hope, and I hate giving false hope. I do not ever want to give hope to someone only for it to be like, nah, bruh, this doesn't actually do what we're advertising it does. Um, if someone wants a cure for type 1, inslet cells is an option. I'm not going to say, oh no, it's not an option, because it is an option. But it's not a cure. And I wish people would stop labeling it a fucking cure. It's not. Because those drugs, those, I take lisinopril, and it's for kidney pressure, but it's also for high blood pressure. That kind of thing. I get it. I totally know that the lady that is taking Botox has probably done all of that. Um, just because of the kind of lady she is. And I will leave it at that. You say the cholesterol and like stop shitting, and then there's Olestra where it's lowering cholesterol, but it is also a laxative. Woo! Olestra was fun. Yep. I am only on like 10 milligrams of lisinopril, just in case to keep pressure off my kidneys. I have great blood pressure. Like even with my Vyvanse, it's still a low blood pressure. And that's also a very funny thing is that taking drugs to balance out the side effects of other drugs. I'm almost down to the bottom corner. Almost down to the bottom corner of the page. The Spyro, the I call it Spyro. I have a lot of people who are on that. No, no. Everything's fine. It's fine. We're all fine here. I need to get back into my work in progress Wednesdays because I have been slacking off so much. Um, I try to take the pictures, but I have been slacking off so much. Yeah, I support a kid-free vacation. I mean, if you want to take a bus, you can come up here. We have Greyhound and Concord that come up close by. And if you want, you can even do Amtrak to Brunswick, and I'll come get you. I can only have one at a time because I simply do not have. As it is, you would get either a cot or a spot on the sectional. I only have dogs, so I totally have no problems bringing my fur kids. Because I just have to rage stomp my feet and they stop whatever they're doing. I still think we need to make like I need to I need to focus on my employee my health record software that I'd like to do, and we should make tech with tits. Yeah. I mean, there's definitely enough room. And I have the vacation time. Poor husband creature. Just trying to make sure I'm not going hog wild. Because this is the bottom corner. I don't want it off. I don't want it off too bad. I have a crying dog in my background. And legit, I don't think a bus it would take a while. It would be close to a day on a bus. I don't think it's too expensive, to be completely fair. I took a bus from Bangor to Virginia once. That was kind of fun. I went to Virginia. Funny enough, I went to Virginia Tech for a LARPing experience and had a lot of fun. Like, it was great, but it took 13 hours on the bus though. But the bus has Wi-Fi and I didn't have to drive, so. Okay, we are done. This is the bottom corner of let me. I don't have a fancy. I have a fancy thing. Yeah, bottom corner where we can see the entirety of the page. I'm gonna go up and do some grapes over here. Do some grape outlines. I got some magnets. I gotta put magnets on the back of them. I got some almost magnets all done. Um, I'm trying to clean off my work in progress station so that I can start working on displays and whatnot for um, June 20th. Like I need to pop up my tables and work on some. I need to work on some display. I think that's what's holding me back is my displays aren't great, and I'm trying to clean that up a bit. I'm getting better, but I only have a couple of shows this summer just because every show that I want to do is on a weekend that I work, and it's damn near impossible to get a weekend off where I work. So I don't get to do many shows. But legit, Dragon, if you just need time off to be like away from, and I know it's more complicated, but time away from kids and you don't want to go too far, you get yourself to a bus station in Maine and I'll get myself to pick you up. Or a train station even. I'll come get you. I don't mind driving. It's a good call. I'll probably get 550 done today. Kind of fun. One of my either or colors. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, so 2, 3, 4, and more down. I also got another necklace done. So I got 2 necklaces that I'm gonna go let Nest of Nessie fuss around with. Uh, the, the last 2 that I'm looking for, like I'm going, can I get to it from the other area that I'm gonna go? No, the answer is no. It's awkward no matter where I come from. Okay, so 2, 4, 6 out this way, so that's 3, 4, 5, and 6. So at the bottom corner, 6, right there, and this, my friends, is how mistakes are made. We'll find out. It's not awful. It's only 2 stitches, but still. Kind of looks like it goes there. We'll see. We'll see later on down the line. Okay, back up to the top. Oh, so in all my years of cooking, I've always been very careful of the top of the can because my mom's like was growing up. It's like, watch out, you'll get cut by the top of the can. Never, never up until last night had I been ever even. Nope. Last night was the end of that era. For whatever reason, I got cut by the top of the can, and I'm like, seriously? So, first time for everything. I was reminded because I looked down at my hand and I still have the band-aid on because it wasn't a big cut. It wasn't a deep cut, but everybody knows that finger cuts bleed. So I put pressure on it and I wrapped a band-aid around at that same level of pressure and it stopped bleeding. And I'm just going to leave it on there for a couple days, let it heal up. Then let it dry out over the weekend. Okay, so all the way up here. All the way up here. Mm-hmm. So I only have an hour after stream ends today of free time because I got a staff meeting at 2, so that means everybody knows that means I start getting ready at 1. So I don't know as if I'm gonna do too horribly much. Maybe just a little bit of cleaning in my craft space. My craft storage space, I should specify. It's either that or I'm torn between a little bit of cleaning in my craft room because I'm fully rested. Like I have been resting so much that I am fully rested. Doesn't mean I couldn't take more of a nap, but my cupeth is full. So, and I have to. I'm supervising my new med tech today, so it's. Okay, but I have been working up in my. I've been working up in my potentially new video streaming area. I've been getting the floor down, the walls up, stuff like that, cleaning, dusting. I need to buy I need to buy more contractor bags. Yay! Stitching is lining up as it should. Mm-hmm. Oh, time for ads. Mm-hmm. How did these ones line up? They did. Oh my god. Mm-hmm. I'm almost done 550. Woohoo. Small victories. one here, and then we're going to do a count. 4 down. 2, 3, 4. That. That. It does. Okay. We're going to finish out the color. I kind of did this one in reverse because it started up way up high, went down. And generally I start from the left and go right. And in this instance, I was like, nope, we're going to start from the top and work our way down and to the left. Because sometimes I'm wild and crazy like that. Three. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. Mm-hmm. Gap 4, 2. Oh, the last one way out there. Cross it over. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Alright, we're closing on the last 3 stitches of 550. Oh. Tomorrow I won't be streaming because I got therapy, and therapy after therapy is not good days to stream. I got therapy and work, so bleh. That's all I got for that. But Thursday I'll be on for a longish stretch. Seems weird. I still have 6,000 stitches of this color left, and it's not. I love the color, but it's very sparsely. The 6,000 stitches are very sparsely spread throughout the rest of this project. Mostly being used as a shader. Hey, if I'm helping you get stuff done, you do what you got to do. I might even opt to do that. I might sweep and mop my kitchen floor before I leave. Because it needs to be done, and I haven't had the wherewithal. Mostly because every time I sweep and mop it, I have dirty dogs bring in dirt. Oof. I'm over here just banging around making noise. I gotta say, at least I'm glad, like the little sugar crash that I had, it wasn't awful. I've definitely had worse days. And I had Swedish fish right nearby to fix it all. Oh, goodness. Okay. Now, y'all get to sit with me while I pick the next color for the rest of the week. And I'm gonna really try hard not to do 939, to be completely fair. Let's see, can I get to 310 from what I got? Honestly, I probably could. I might pick that up to finish for today, but that's not gonna be the rest of it's not gonna be the rest of the week. 791 is a color. Actually not a bad color. 792. It's looking like this area right here is mostly what we have left, and it's grapes. I have 939, which is a lot of the backfill in this area. So I'm trying to avoid 939 will hopefully be the last color I work on, since it's the first color I'm working on over on Divine Instinct. I'm aiming for 939 to be the last one I work on the bigger colors that I have. Because it rules my life. It's kind of like the filament on Buffalo Woman. It just exists all over the place. Okay, 500 is not a bad choice. That one wouldn't take too long. Yeah, it's a lot of leaf filling in. Now I think we're gonna close out today with with 310. We're gonna close out today with black, and I'll off stream. I'll think of something. I'll pick the next color. Oh well, I figured. I don't get. I'm not. I don't get horribly fussy because life sucks. Okay, I gotta. I don't know if I actually like announced this, but I did find my bobbin for my 939. It was in other things, so I did find it. This is kind of hilarious. Now, mind you, I have more than enough of this color, but I've managed to misplace. Oh nope, there it is. I was gonna say I've managed to misplace my black, and I didn't. I found it. I try to only keep one. Like I have skeins of it, but I only try to keep one bobbin. Kind of wondering what I was doing over here. It's like, seems like I have a scrap piece that I'm using. Not all about it. Okay, that is actually not a scrap piece. Pain in my tuchus piece, but it's not a scrap. Okay. Because black was a main color when I started this page. It was a big color, but it also went to places that I couldn't reach until I did a couple of other colors. So that's what we're doing right now. We're jumping around and doing the skirting colors of black that I couldn't reach because I can't count. And as we learned, because I had to pull stitches out, I can't count. But fortunately, they were all black, so I still had to come back to them, so I'm getting them put in the right spots. Now, starting off on the far end here, because that's where my camera is. Two down here. Sometimes I like just doing these random weird little spots because it gets a little bit of character done, and then I can move on to a new spot. I don't like the starting stopping process, but my stomach's decided that it has opinions, and which is funny because it has food in it, and I'm not feeling any particular way, but my stomach has opinions, just so everybody knows. So, Jules will appreciate this. One of my coworkers is from Moncton. Her name is Venice, and she is very, very sweet. Actually, when she speaks, reminds me, her speech pattern is very similar to yours, Jules. So we were talking, and she was telling me how her son got a scholarship, And one of the requirements of the scholarship was to write a thank you note, which I rolled my eyes at. I'm like, seriously? But she's like, well, he didn't have time. And he's like, Mom, can you just do this for me? And she says, I looked at him and went, honey, I am very Franglish. My thank you note is not going to sound like how you want it to sound. And I just about died laughing because she goes from English into French, back into English, and I don't think if I hadn't been hanging out with Jules, I would completely understand what the hell is going on. I mean, I get the gist of what she's saying, but it's so because it's flawless. Like, she doesn't even stop to think about it. She starts off in English, she moves over into French, and then she finishes her sentence in English, and I'm like, Venice? No. And like, we need to use our English words here. And she's great. I love training her. She went over to the overnight shift, but I enjoy interacting with her. Okay, go up here. Let's see if I can actually find the spot before I move the camera. One, two, and 3 for that. Yeah, this is one of the areas where I was not doing it correctly. One of the areas I had to take the stitches out. So that area has. Now, I can't play this game today because I have been hitting the check mark, but how many stitches have I done today? Let's see. I just have a short bit left, so I'm not trying not to trim and go back. I'm just Yay! Okay. That was another one that I had to pull. It's such piffle areas. It's not even fun. enough strength because this would even out what I'm plotting to do. Even if it's just enough for half. I need just half a more stitch. Half a more stitch. This is the worst game of... What was Twitch doing now? Remember, I am also on YouTube. It's not as cool as Twitch, but I do broadcast on YouTube as well. Exact same stream. Okay, there. Now, we have... Okay, so what do I want to do in my hour of free time? And it's going to be a chore because I've been slacking off. So sweep them up the kitchen. Secure a couple pieces of wood up in my new stream space. Or trim dead branches out off one of my hedges. Or some of my hedges. Those are the options that I got going on right now. Whoops. And I'll take a peep. I did hear it go off, but Facebook is behind me. And I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get this black drag. The black drag's all done before I call it a day. Ooh, is that the trash can? Trash truck? It is the trash truck. Hey, I was worried that because I hadn't shown up this morning that they'd forgotten. Because they do that sometimes. Which does not endear me to paying city taxes. I don't mind paying taxes as long as I'm getting my money's worth. But when they do things like forget to take my trash, here. Kind of working my way down and over. No, guys, no. We're fine. It was just the trash truck. Pixie, you're fine. Pixie says she's not fine, by the way. She's off in the background singing her songs. I'm right there. That's the diagonal. I actually am working on the biggest chunk of the leftovers. It's kind of weird. They actually did my road before they did Smith Street Ave today. I'm not giving any private information away as I run a business, and if you look me up, you can find my address. I just preface it with, I'm here. Okay. I hate doing these, but this is what we gotta do. There's that one. I have this area that I'm working on, and then I get to go put the first bits of Dionysus back on the page. Because when I miscounted, part of it was his hairline, and so I had to pull it out, so he ran off from the page. But not for long. Oops. That is not where... Is that where I need to be? That is where I need to be. Okay. But yeah, the last bit of black that I gotta put back on the page is Mr. Man's introduction to his project. No, that's not what I wanted. Filling in minuscule white spot. Gets better as the page fills in, though. I still need to call my student loan people. I got all the paperwork filled out. They denied me. So now I have to call them and go, hey, I can't afford $500 a month. What can you do? So. Nope, because between husband creature and I, on paper, we make too much, which really, really pisses me off because, like, we don't live extravagant lifestyle, but we got car payments, we have debt payments, we have all, yeah, we have the house, we have my medical needs, which is a whole nother level of hell. So it's I just gotta call them and talk to them. Nelnet is by far one of the best companies I've dealt with student loans, so I have no problems with it. It's just a matter of I don't wanna, and I gotta. Yeah, and I have no problems disclosing this. On paper, husband creature and I make $92,000 a year, which sounds great, but in this economy, I mean, we're spending $250 on food every week. So, yeah. And it's because with celiac disorder, my food is ridiculously expensive. Because I get two options. I can buy prepackaged gluten-free food, or I can buy fresh food and make it myself. Neither of those options is cheap. So, like, that's what bothers me about income base. Like, they take your income, but they don't ask you about your bills. Because, like, if we were just doing this based off income, that would be great. But I gotta pay for shit. And I'm 16, count them, 16 payments away from loan forgiveness. Yeah, mine was pending, and now it got denied. So that's why I need to call. Guys, no. No, you're fine. Go lay down, please. But Mom is all I'm hearing. Yeah, I consolidated mine many, many years ago. And then as a graduation gift, my dad paid half of them off, which is great. I still have $60,000 in debt. Go lay down, please. And which is hilarious. So, and again, I don't mind disclosing this because this is all about me. My overall debt as a person, and this includes my house, my car, and my student loan and my credit card debt. All of that. All of it. I am only at like $200,000 in debt. And I know only $200,000 in debt. Anyone who has a mortgage recognizes that that is nothing. Pixie, for the love of Christ, lay down. Couche. But yeah, for your average American, $200,000 is not a whole lot of debt. And some of it will be getting paid off soon because I'm a good girl and I pay all my bills. For the most part. I like to have conversations so I can pay my bills properly. But the American culture is really, really trying hard to fuck me over. And husband creature. Yep. Yep. Oh well, and that's the thing is I went and I got some boot camp things, and that was $5,000. Like, I got certified in things that I already know how to do because in this day and age they want pieces of paper to tell them that you know how to do things. And I'm like, but I have proof that I know how to do these things. And so let's but yeah, husband. Other than like our taxes, we keep our finances separate. So when I'm talking about, it's just me. When I'm talking, it's just my finances. I don't share anything. But I also think it's something that people need to be comfortable talking about, so that we all realize that we're in this hellhole together. And some people are doing better, and I don't fault them for that. Like, don't have any ill will for people who are doing better than me. But I'm fiscally responsible, and I'm still getting ass fucked. And I hope no one here likes guacamole. Well, no one here in America likes guacamole because it's being, or avocados, I should say, because the current holders of the purse have decided that our avocado toast is too much for them. That's not really what it is, but they decided to tariff the fuck out of imports from Mexico, thinking that oh California can just supply all the avocados that America uses, and that no, sorry folks, no. We like, yeah, and avocado trees. I don't know, Dragon, your love of avocados, you might have already known this. The avocado trees have to be 50 years old before they start producing fruit. It's right up there with pineapples. One pineapple plant produces one pineapple fruit. That is it, my friends. So it takes a good long time for avocados to start deciding that they're gonna fruit. A tree planted around when I was born is only just now getting ready to fruit. And more people need to realize where our food comes from and how hard it is to obtain said food. Too many people are like, oh, hey, you can't eat that. That's not where they come from. I was like, yes, it is. I was watching TikTok. People don't know that apples come on trees. Well, at least that's good. Like, I I I encourage technology to but I want to start utilizing hydroponics where you don't use a whole lot of dirt, but it takes a lot of water though. That's the thing. We're running out of that too. But you can grow a lot in a hydroponic farm. Ah, yeah, that's still and still that's even though it's not as long as some varieties of avocado, that's still a long time to wait for a tree to fruit. No, we're talking about people need to know where their food comes from because America sucks right now. And our food's getting redonkulously expensive. I have, I have this little area that I'm working on. This area right here. I'm working on for the last bit of black, and then I'm calling it a day because it's almost noon. Oh yeah, that I oh Maine as an agricultural state is phenomenal. I have a wide variety of farmers markets. I, and I'm going to be utilizing them best I can. Okay, so I'm gonna get these couple of stitches done. 4, 5 from that. 2, 3, 4, 5, right there. Okay, my friends. Take a guess on how many stitches were done today. It is under 200. Over 150 and less than 200. And if Twitch is working for Jules, if not, but got a good portion of this purple all done, and I got some fill in black that I needed to get done. So we start out today at 5.8%, which we're in a good spot. I would like to hit 6% this month. I think I can. I'm the little engine that could. I think I can. Okay. I love you, Jules, but I gotta hit buttons. So I did 179. So Dragon, you were very close. No, 181. 181. Sorry, final number. 181. And we're at 5.84%. My dogs are bananas, and I want to toss them outside, and that's where they're gonna go in a second. But remember, drink your water, take your meds. Be kind to yourself without harming others, and be kind to others without harming yourself. I'll be back on Thursday, 9 a.m. for my long stream. I'll have a big color picked out so I don't have to keep hopping between colors. And know that the gift of your time is the most valuable thing you can ever give, and I thank you for giving it to me. Stay safe, my friends. And I will see you all on Thursday. Let's see if I can hit the right button.